issues. And I used to manage them pretty well, but the last year or so, things have just gotten out of control. So, um, I do these videos to kind of help me stay on track with what I need to be doing and to hopefully inspire other women who also suffer from invisible illnesses to pick up the pieces because, we can lead pretty healthy and active lives. It's not going to be what we wanted, but, I really don't know that many people who are living out what they thought their lives have not turned out how they expected when they were younger. And, that's not always a bad thing. Anyway, positivity. So I I'm trying to learn how to make gluten-free bread. Okay, bread is an art form already. I've never made bread without a bread machine until last week. And I had certainly never made gluten-free bread. Well, there's an art to bread, and there's apparently gluten-free is even more difficult to bake because it doesn't rise properly. But I woke up this morning and I'm like, I hope this is going to sound nuts, but I hope I feel good enough later to make some bread. Um, because that's really how bad my health is. um, and I started getting really down about that. I swear I have a point. I started getting really down. I'm like, what the hell? What in the hell kind of life is this when I don't even know if I'm going to have the energy to freaking bake a loaf of bread? I love to bake. Baking is one of the ways that I deal with stress and anxiety during the Alaskan winter because it makes the house smell good. The oven puts obviously more heat into the house, and I really love to bake. I don't bake in the summer when it's warm, but when it's cold, I really like to bake. But I started getting really down about that. What the hell kind of life am I living when I don't even know if I can bake? Then I stopped myself. I can't fall down into that rabbit hole. Okay, maybe I don't have the energy today to bake a loaf of bread. Okay, but you know what? Maybe I will tomorrow. My ingredients aren't going to go anywhere. This isn't a big deal. In the big picture, this is not a big deal if I'm not up to it today. But it really made me stop and kind of refocus on how negative my inner voice has gotten. Now, I've always had a really harsh inner critic and a very negative interior monologue, inner monologue. You get my point. But I really need to focus on being more positive. Why? Because I noticed the other day on New Year's Day when I was feeling sorry for myself that my day started off waking up with pain, insomnia, just really struggling for several hours before I was could relax enough to go back to sleep. It's not how I wanted to start the new year, but I realized I remembered, I should say that I can't focus on that stuff. And for me, it's a really notable physical impact if I give in to negative thinking. So let's talk about some ways you can be more positive. This information is from tinybuddha.com. Step one, you need, and I sighed because this is a hard choice, but it is a choice. You need to understand, you need to realize it's a choice. It is simply a choice. Now, of course, there are some people out there who have very severe clinical depression. This is not for them. But for the most part, for most of us, I'm having a hell of a time this morning. But for most of us, being happy is simply a choice. Choosing to look on the bright side it's a choice. Look, everybody wakes up in the morning and you face the same decision. You can either focus on the good things in your life and be in a better mood all day, or you can choose to focus on the negative things in your life and be pissy all day. Well, when you're in a situation like mine where you really see the implications of the mind body connection, I have to choose positivity. Excuse me. Step number 2 to becoming more positive, you've got to eliminate negativity. And this often means eliminating other people. Oh, that sounds so ominous, eliminating other people. No, don't do that. But you need to really limit your interaction with people. Look, if other people don't lift you up, why are you spending your time with them? Why? Now, sometimes we can't gently excuse ourselves from somebody's presence. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe I used to have a coworker that was really difficult to get along with. But I had to find a way to set a boundary with her. I had to figure out a way. She's not going to change. Oh, she never did change. She retired years ago, but she wasn't going to change. And frankly, that wasn't her responsibility to change. It was my responsibility to figure out how to control my emotions. I had that choice to make. And I remember very clearly when I realized that I was walking from my building to hers as I just got outside of my building and I caught myself ruminating in my head, oh my gosh, she's going to do this and she's going to do that and she's going to nitpick the shit out of me because she does. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm giving this crazy lady all this power over me. And was just such a strong reaction I was having. So once I realized that was going on, then the reason I noticed it was I felt my anxiety going through the roof. The rest of the walk, I told myself, she just has an eye for detail that you don't. When I say this chick had an eye for detail, I mean, I've never seen another human being like her in my whole life. You could hand her a 20-page document, she could find the one typo within a matter of minutes. And she let you know. She relished letting you know. But why focus on that aspect of it? It doesn't change anything that she did. She wasn't going to stop being that way because I didn't like it. So instead, I tried to appreciate what I ordinarily found off-putting about her. That might sound kind of weird, but hopefully you get my point. But that was kind of a boundary I had to set. It was a boundary I set in my own mind. And I got to where when she'd start to chew on me, I'd smile at her and say, you know what, I'll be more than happy to fix that when I get back to my desk. Just shoot me an email. Have a great day. And I'd walk out. That'd be the end of it. I had to set that though, because before I set that, we had some really uncomfortable confrontations. So you got to set your boundaries and you're going to have to stand behind your boundaries because if people are used to walking all over you, they're not going to like it. When you suddenly stand up for yourself, be prepared. You also have to, by the way, when it comes to eliminating negativity, you've got to look at your own behavior. My friend Jennifer and I need to call her. Anyway, my friend Jennifer and I used to use a voice messaging app and we would leave each other lengthy messages. And we realized, and we're both pretty happy people, but we realized, oh my gosh, this has turned into just a bitch fest because we were comfortable enough with each other to just say what was on our minds. And we realized that we were pulling each other down instead of lifting each other up. So we made a new rule. You could bitch as much as you wanted to, get everything off of your chest, but you had to close out with 3 things that you were grateful for, 3 positives. That sounds really small and it probably sounds kind of silly, but it was a significant shift in our conversations with each other. And frankly, it deepened our friendship because nobody wants to talk to someone when all you do is bring each other down. But when you can get it off your chest and then remind each other that, hey, you know what, we've got a lot to be grateful for. That's a pretty damn good friendship. I should have brought my water in here. Damn it. Step number 3, you're going to have to look for the positive. You need to learn how to step back, take an emotional step back and assess the situation. You're going to have to sometimes really look for the benefit. It's not always easy to see. Look, worst case scenario, it's a learning experience. Now you know that whatever you did does not work and you can try something else. But when I say find the positive, I hope I don't get all emotional telling you all this, but when my aunt passed away many years ago, my cousin and his wife came up. I'd never even met the wife. I just, our lives are so different. We grew up in different states. We're not as close as I wish we were. But my cousin and his wife came. And in the midst of all of our grief and all of the tears, you know what? We found things to bond over. We had so much fun telling funny stories about, oh, do you remember when she did this? Oh, do you remember when she did that? So in the midst of all that, and at the time, that was the biggest loss I'd faced. And it was so hard for me. But because I do know how to take that emotional step back. I was able to find moments of beauty in the darkness, in the grief, in all that pain. Speaking of pain, chronic pain has been a huge thing for me where I've learned to look for the lesson. I honestly, I am such a nicer person now. I would say I'm a better person than I was before all this crap started. Why? I have a lot more empathy. I have a lot more understanding. I have a lot more kindness in my heart towards my fellow man because I know I know I want empathy from people. I know I want understanding. I want patience. So I'm a lot better about extending that. That's some of the beauty that I've learned through dealing with all of this. I have learned that it's a choice whether I want to be happy today or not. I'm going to feel like crap probably regardless. Why not put on a smile and try to make the best of it? I really should have brought my damn water in here. um, Number 4, you need to reinforce your own positivity. Don't dwell on your shortcomings. And truly, you need to remember that that voice inside your head is very exaggerated. It's very biased. It's not reality. But don't dwell on your shortcomings. You want to really work on yourself. Work on your strengths. Work on the qualities about you that draw others to you, that other people admire about you. And if you're really down and you can't see what the hell those qualities might be, ask. There's somebody around you that you can ask who's going to see you in a far kinder and more realistic light than you see yourself. Affirmations work. I know we all like to laugh at them, but they work. That's why they've been around for so long. Tape a note to your mirror. Put a note on your the visor in your car so that you can remind yourself, you know what, I am a good person. I do deserve good things. I know it sounds cheesy, but this stuff works, y'all. You know what else works? Keep a gratitude journal. Just do it for 30 days. I'm not even asking you for a huge commitment. Take 30 days, jot down just 3 things every day that you're grateful for 30 days. I'll bet you'll be amazed at the difference in your attitude. Finally, step number 5, share your positivity. Be nice. Kindness doesn't cost a damned thing. Be nice. Treat people, it's true. The golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated. And you know what? The people who are really nasty and shitty, I don't know how else to say it. I'm too tired to find another word right now. They really need our empathy the most. Now, I'm not saying that to be a doormat. That's not at all what I'm saying. But part of sharing your positivity, be kind to people, be kind to those who don't necessarily deserve it because they probably need it more than anyone else. Again, I'm not saying to suck up to these people. I'm not telling you to get close to these people, but just be kind. Pay people compliments. Pay people sincere compliments. You'll be amazed at what that does, not just for them, but for you. I'm actually really known for passing out random compliments. And years ago, I was at a conference in Las Vegas and I was walking through the mall with a group of people, and my friend from Baltimore was just so taken aback by this. And he finally grabbed me by the arms and he's like, "Who in the hell is this nice?" I am, Derek. I'm this nice. And you know what was really cool? When he got back home to Baltimore, he sent me a card and told me that I had such an influence on him that he had started to pay compliments to people randomly too. And he was telling me how much he was getting out of that. You know what else is really beneficial to you and to others? Acknowledgement. We all like to be acknowledged. So take literally just a moment to say, "Wow, thank you. That was so kind of you when you helped me or helped them," or whatever it is. But when somebody does something that you feel is worthy of praise, tell them. Look, we're all quick to bitch, but few people are willing to step up and just say, "Thank you. You did a good job." Anyway, that is all I have for today. Surprise, I don't feel good. But what do you do? That's life. Gotta I just gotta put a smile on my face because all things said and done, I do have a lot to be grateful for. I have a lot of things going for me. And I do need to be more positive. So I had another point I was going to make, but it's gone. So I hope you all have a great afternoon. I will be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock Alaska time. Thank